Good morning, family. How are you? It's Thursday, August 4th. We're in the 8th month of this year already, but there's still time to enjoy it, even with all the craziness that we see around us. Before we begin, just a reminder, Sunday is our communion service, and look forward to seeing you there. And we know that many people are going on vacation, and I bring up this because after Sunday, we won't meet this Thursday coming, this new week. That's the 11th. And then that Sunday's the 14th. And then that Thursday again is the 18th. So we're not going to be at the hotel. Everything will be shut down to give people a chance to breathe. And then we'll resume the following Sunday, which is the 21st. So with that said, question. When you read the word, do you get excited? Do you look for anticipation of what God's going to say? Even though we read this word over and over, because there's always newness to it. It's always God brings scriptures to life as we read and search for his wisdom. Well, I want to share something with you that I read that really, really blessed me. And I hope it blesses you this morning. And I'm reading in 2 Chronicles. And I'm going to start, let's say verse 13. And I'm going to go down to verse 20. Just had to make sure. So here we go. A very large assembly of people were gathered in Jerusalem to observe the festival of unleavened bread. In the second month, they proceeded to take away the altars that were in Jerusalem, and they took away the incense altars and threw them into the Kidron Valley. They slaughtered the Passover lamb on the 14th day of the second month. The priests and the Levites were ashamed, and they consecrated themselves and brought burnt offerings to the Lord's temple. They stood at their prescribed post according to the law of Moses, the man of God. The priests sprinkled the blood received from the hand of the Levites, for there were many in the assembly who had not, listen to this, who had not consecrated themselves. And so the Levites were in charge of the slaughtering of the Passover lambs for everyone, or for every unclean person, to consecrate the lambs to the Lord. A large number of people, many from Ephraim, Manasseh, Issachar, and Zebulun, were ritually unclean. Here's that word again. Yet they had eaten the Passover contrary to what was written. Let me stop there for a second. This is talking about when Hezekiah was king. And when we read this word, at least for me, right, there's no difference then. Now, we don't have the law of Moses. Yeah, we got that. But people are people. And people turn away from the Lord, even people that have solemnly swore to serve him. And we give our lives to Christ the same way. And things happen. I always say life happens. It has a way of just happening, and things will come up to try to deter us. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not, and sometimes in that success that it has, which we know is the enemy wants to separate us, and he'll use whatever to separate us from God and his word. Sometimes people go deep into that sin and into what they're doing. And this story tells about Hezekiah bringing in all the people. He wants to celebrate the Passover. And he's telling everybody from the area, Judah and Israel, come on in. Let's do this right before the Lord. Just like God always calls you and I, come back, come. Let me cleanse you. Let me do what's right. But as you could see in this, it says that some of the people were not clean. They weren't consecrated to the Lord. And that was a ritual that they did when they met for the Passover. Listen to this. And Leviticus 10:10 teaches that you are to distinguish between the holy and the common, between the unclean and the clean. That's Leviticus 10:10. The parallel between holy and clean reveals that the command was related to one's spiritual condition. One's spiritual condition, not so much the outward appearance, though there was a physical actions that determined that. But it's about the spiritual end. And you know what I love about this? Today is Thursday. We're going to meet for prayer at 6:30. And you're welcome to come out and join us. I'm always pushing that, and I always will. It's very important that these people came down. Some weren't right. Some were right. Some had to do more work, for the others knew that they were wrong. But they came, even with the enemy battling, because they were unclean. Whatever that uncleanness was, whatever sin was happening in their lives. So you had a mixture of those who wanted to come serve the Lord, those that wanted to come and celebrate what he did for the Passover. And then you had those that came reluctantly, probably battling in their minds. Can I do this? Can I go to church? Can I, like we do today? But here's the key. In what I was reading to you, I got to read this next verse. Let me back it up to 18. A large number of people, many from Ephraim, Manasseh, Issachar, and Zebulun, were ritually unclean. Yet they had eaten the Passover contrary to what was written. But here's the verse. Now, we're talking a time of law, the time of the commandments, the 10 commandments that Moses gave to them from God. But Hezekiah had interceded for them, saying, "May the good Lord provide atonement on behalf of whoever sets his whole heart on seeking God, Yahweh, the God of his ancestors, even though not according to the purification rules of the sanctuary." And then it says this. So the Lord heard Hezekiah and healed the people. So the Lord heard Hezekiah and healed the people. Prayer. Prayer is powerful. Prayer touches the heart of God. Prayer gets us into that place in the holies of holies when we as Christians today, even when some of us mess up or some of us are doing okay, but nobody should take for granted that they're on a high road. It's always coming to God in humility. So whether they were consecrated or not, they came in humility, knowing they're coming to God. I say this to you. Let's come to God, all of us, and let's meet in prayer and pray for our loved ones who walked away. Pray for the church of God that's so divided. Pray for our nation that is going nuts. But it's not the first time when you look at history. Pray for the sick among us. Pray for God's power to come down and touch all of us. That's what I got from this. And though it was time of the law, the grace of God worked that day. Isn't that amazing? Like today, all we got to do is repent, turn our hearts back, come to him. Like Hezekiah prayed, may the good God that we serve, well, we serve a good God. There's songs about that. Today, wherever you are in your walk today, come to the Lord this morning. Give your life back to him. And if you haven't walked away, come to the Lord this morning and give him glory for keeping you and me another day. And then tonight, join with the brothers and the sisters, because don't forget, they all gathered together. That shows you the power in unity of wanting to get before God and let him do what he does best, not just to hang out. So don't forget, we have tonight and then Sunday, and then there's going to be a little bit of a space for everybody. All righty? God bless you. Have a great day. We'll see you Sunday or tonight. Hint, hint. God bless. Bye-bye.